Hello again, everybody. You're with Tom and Fern. I'm Tom.
I'm Fern.
With us today, our very, very, very special guest, retired Sergeant Major USMC John Annis.
Hoorah.
All right.
Can you explain what a Sergeant Major is?
No, it's really hard to do. Sergeant Major is the senior enlisted rank and advises the commanding officer on all enlisted matters. So it's a pretty big deal, though. It's not like working at the Herald-Tribune, but it's almost like that.
Which you used to do.
I used to.
And then you went on to somewhere, and then now you're at the Community Foundation of Sarasota County.
That's right. I love it.
So what do you do as a senior vice president of community investment?
It's kind of like being a sergeant major.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain. I do whatever Roxy tells me to do, but I get to work with nonprofits in the community, mostly on giving away other people's money.
It's nice. It's
How did you transition from the newspaper to that job?
Yeah, I actually got a call one day and said, hey, we're looking for someone to do this, and you are absolutely not qualified. But
That's the way I was hired here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That's the same.
Yes, it's called. All right, so we're going to wrap up last week's picks. You weren't here, but last week's picks, it was me, Fern, David Boss.
I see a lot of gold stars under my name.
All right, so we're going to be quick. All right, geez. David, man that he was, manned up and went with his Riverview Rams, his alma mater. They took it on the chin there. I made the grave mistake of picking the Tampa Bay Bucks against the Titans. Who would have thought a 2-14 team could manhandle the Bucks the way another 2-14 team? Yeah, it was horrible. And so let's see, Palmetto in the Southeast, we all went with Oregon and Michigan State. We went with the Spartans, went with the Tigers of LSU, and we all went with New England. I don't know why I did that. And then, so anyway, Fern ran the table, and that'll be the last time.
As a sports writer should, yes.
All right, this week, you ready? You ready for this week? All right, we're going left to right. That means here.
Okay.
All right. Lakewood Ranch at Braden River. I'm going with Braden. See there, yellow.
We practiced this for a night.
All right, Lakewood Ranch at Braden River. I'm taking Braden River. John?
I have to go with Lakewood Ranch since both of my boys went there.
All right.
Braden River, district matchup, go with the better team.
All right, Sarasota at Palmetto, the Booker, Josh Booker, right? Josh Booker's taking the road show to Palmetto. I'm sticking with my Tigers. John?
Because you're sick with the Tigers, I'll go with the Sailors.
Booker can run, but I got to go with Palmetto at home.
All right, Georgia Tech at Notre Dame. I'm taking the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech.
I'm going to have to go with Notre Dame because Phil Delaney, Colleen McHugh, a whole bunch of Notre Dame fans here in Sarasota would not let me live it down. So I'm going with Notre Dame.
Plus they have social media networks, right? They all
definitely connect them.
All right, Fern.
I learned the stat today. Georgia has covered 9 straight games. Georgia Tech. So I'm going with Tech in this. There's no reason for Notre Dame to be ranked number 8 after beating Texas and Virginia. Not really impressive wins over there.
All right, South Carolina at Georgia, as you would say, at Georgia. I'm taking the Dogs at home.
I'll go with Georgia, too, and I actually did a little research. When I saw they have a running back named Nick Chubb, I said, I'm going with them.
I mean, some of these games, mine a 17-point spread, so I got to go with Georgia. I'll go with what the Vegas wise guys think.
All right, New England at Buffalo. I'm taking the Bills.
What? Do you want
should we commence the gaming up process here?
Do you want to reconsider that?
Yeah, no, I don't.
All right, I'll go with New England.
I'm going with New England. Rex Ryan's been talking a lot of junk this week in his team. Laying in wait, I think we say.
Laying in wait. All right, Seattle at Green Bay. I'm taking the green and gold Packers.
Oh, I'd like to, but I'm going to go with Seattle. I think after last week, they're going to come back strong.
I like Green Bay at home. Going to go with the boss's team, which is the Packers.
Right. Your boss's team.
My boss's team.
Yeah. All right. Okay, good. All right, here we go.
What we got?
Okay, Big Papi hit his 500th home run against the Rays. Yeah. So the question is, does he belong in the Hall of Fame?
Do I have to wait third here?
Yeah. Actually, you can go first. Boston
anybody who gets 500 home runs, that's sort of the unofficial threshold. Now, he's a DH. He's a half a player. There's steroids controversy back about 10, 12 years ago. I say he's in, considering how clutch he's been over his career.
I absolutely agree with the sports writer here. This is a no-brainer for me. I think we go ahead and make him wait the 5 years like everyone else. No reason to rush him right in today. Let him play the next season, hit some more home runs, hopefully against the Orioles, lots against the Orioles, and then vote him right in.
This is killing, and you see how he's turning.
All right. So if 500 is a magical benchmark. How come Rafael Palmeiro was 569?
Oh, there we go with the Oriole guy.
Well, no, he's in there.
Papi didn't wave his finger at Congress and say, I never took steroids.
No, he just denied it all. Yeah, he just denied it all. That's all he did. Now, so Mike Piazza, 427 home runs, 308 lifetime batting average, OPS of 922, better numbers than Papi. Not in the Hall of Fame.
The greatest offensive catcher in baseball. He belongs, but there's taints about maybe him taking steroids also.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
Big Papi.
We're staying here in the New England region.
So tell everybody how far apart y'all grew up in Massachusetts.
Where'd you grow up?
Well, the state's about this big, and I was this side.
Well, exactly where? What
near Worcester.
Near Worcester. You grew up in New Bedford.
Yeah.
Sort of hard scrabble.
Yeah.
Several towns. But enough about that. I want to know about how Gomer would have fit into your sort of, as Sergeant Major, how would you have sort of gotten him into shape? Or would you have...
Yeah, Gomer would have never made it to my unit. So that wouldn't have happened. Actually, Tom is kind of like the Gomer for me. Is that we did my retirement ceremony from the Marine Corps here, and things were getting a little emotional. There had been some great speeches by people, and it really was getting emotional. And then Tom stood up to speak and decided to sing the Marines hymn as Gomer Pyle, which is one of the highlights of my life. So that
the line.
I'd rather hear it as Goober.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
From the halls of Montezuma.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was good.
That was good. It was a great moment.
Our empty newsroom is even empty now.
Where did everyone go?
Yeah, the Marine Corps Commandant was heard about this and issued a proclamation never to happen again.
I heard that on Mount Pilot.
All right, so the Bucks go on the road to New Orleans, who lost Arizona last week. Any thoughts?
You know, until the Bucks really show me, the cliche is that a team makes its greatest improvement from week 1 to week 2. The Bucks have nowhere to go but up. But until they show me something, I'm not going to pick them against anybody in this league. They looked like they hadn't had a training camp last week against Tennessee.
Yeah, speaking like in the dictionary, next to the word cliche is your mug. They just put your mug in there. All right, favorite Marine movie?
The parts of Full Metal Jacket are great.
The first part, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
Right.
Up to the first part is incredible. In fact, it almost gets you thinking about boot camp again.
Right.
But then, what's the Tom Cruise one? Where you can't handle the truth. Jack Nicholson plays a great role in that. So I think it's between those two for me.
How about Heartbreak Ridge? That one with Clint Eastwood had some of the best dialogue. It was hilarious.
I actually have sat in that bar before. I know that surprises you.
I'm shocked.
Carl's Bar out there in Carlsbad, California was where they filmed a big part of that. So that actually, I'll add that as my third.
All right. Is that where they make Carlsberg beer?
No, but they actually have little plaques at many of the seats recognizing Marines in history and some of the patrons there. I never got my name on a seat, but it was a pretty cool place.
Which is probably not a bad thing, actually. My guess is some of the. All right, anything else? We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for coming in, sir. You did good work in our community.
We'll go over your picks next week.
One more chance to go with New England. If you want to back out now, I think we should.
You can change. We can go over the tape.
One Bills.
You're staying?
Okay, you and Rex Ryan will be crying next week.
Just hold up that
me and Rex Ryan will be crying. All right, we're going to end on that one. Thank you, everybody. See ya.
See you guys.